Hey guys, how we doing? And welcome back to the Ricoh GR3 Quick Tip Series. Today's quick tip, snap focus with the Ricoh GR3. All right, now for those of you that already own the Ricoh GR3, you probably have already figured out snap focus, how it works. There are 3 ways to use it, but maybe you haven't used all 3 ways. Maybe it still is a mystery to you. If you have not purchased this camera, but you're looking to purchase it, then hopefully this will explain it. If you just purchased this camera, you're looking at it, you're dumbfounded, you don't understand snap focus like I didn't understand snap focus when I first bought it, hopefully this will help you out. Now, there's 2 ways to look at snap focus. One is how it works. The other is how do I work it? Okay, we're not going to focus so much on how it works. We're going to focus on how to work it, because how it works, but what it boils down to is zone focusing. Okay, well, what's zone focusing? Okay, well, if I were to take this camera and focus on the video camera that I'm using right now, my Canon EOS RP, to videotape this video, if I were to focus on that with my autofocus and then change it to manual focus, well then, on any camera I'm talking about, not just the Ricoh GR3, on any camera that has manual focus, if you can autofocus and then switch it without changing that focus to manual focus, then in theory, you could walk around and take pictures of anything that's within that distance that your camera was in, or whatever. Let's say you focus on a wall or whatever it is, and you lock that focus in, you should be able to walk around and just snap photos and everything should be not blurry. Okay. In theory. Okay. That's called zone focusing. What Ricoh did with their Ricoh GR series, GR, GR2, and GR3, is they created what they call snap focus. Same concept, only it does it for you. So we're going to move away from how it works or why it works or what it is, because kind of irrelevant to the question most people have, and that is, how do I use it? Okay, there's 3 ways to use it with the Ricoh GR3. Number 1, and this is the most confusing, and I don't use it this way, but this might help explain. When you factory set, basically it's like any other camera. You half press your shutter and it will focus on whatever you're focusing on. And then you full press, you go all the way down and it takes the picture, just like probably the camera you own right now. Now with snap focusing on the Ricoh GR3, they have a setting you can put in there that when you half press, it focuses like it normally would, autofocus. And then when you fully press, it takes the picture. Well, if you bypass the half press and go all the way down, it will do the snap focus. And what that means is it's not focusing on anything. The focus distance is already set. So it takes that extra split second out of it and it just gives you a crisp, clear shot. This is great for street photography. Really about the only reason I can see using snap focus is for street photography. Anything else, why not just focus and take the shot? And again, why not just do that with street photography? Well, if you're walking by somebody very rapidly, or they're walking by rapidly, and you hold your camera up and you take that shot, it's got to focus on them, it's got to read the meter, then it's got to take the shot while they're moving, right? All this while they're moving, because every time you point at a wall or into the street, the lighting is different. Shadows, sunlight, whatever, alleyways, whatever the case might be, it's constantly different. So what Ricoh does is allows you to set it up to where you've got a very broad general lighting and focusing zone to where everything is going to be fairly accurate. So how does that work? Well, again, I said I don't like the way that they want you, not the way they want you to use it, but the main way, the way they describe it. I don't use it that way because I'm always afraid I'm going to jerk the camera when I push hard. I want to skip the half press, so I want to push it harder. It's going to jerk the camera around. And I just don't know. Did I get that? Did it try to focus on the ground instead of the guy or the wall instead? I don't know. And it might have been the best shot of the day that I missed because of that. So 2 other options. The other option I do not use. I don't think I've ever used it other than just to test it. That's the firmware update that came out in July of 2020. This camera, of course, like many cameras, has the touch shutter, touch screen shutter on the back, and it allows you to touch, focus, snap the photo. Or you can just touch and focus, and then you can snap the photo on your own with your thumb. But you can touch the screen, it will focus, and then it will take the photo. Well, if you're walking by somebody, that's a little slow process as well, and a little weird. What are you going to just click, focus, snap. With snap focus, it just picture. It does make it quick and rapid. You just take that shot, boom, boom, boom. Again, under normal circumstances with any other camera or when you do not have it on snap focus, touch, focus, snap. Touch, focus, snap. There's a delay. Touch, focus, snap. Snap focus, there's no delay. Snap, 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 snap is snap focus. Huge difference, subtle but huge. To hear me describe it, it sounds like so what? That's an extra half second. Somebody's walking by the time it focuses, they're already in a different zone or something like that. Now, so how do I use snap focus? Well, when you go back to my videos, my video series, my point of view videos, using this camera exclusively, you look at video number 7 because that's when I started using the Ricoh GR III. Video number 7, I'm using it like any other camera. Kind of a waste because I'm just auto-focusing and taking the photos. Great photos, came in handy, certainly works well, no problem. The video looks good, photos in the video look good. However, I was not using this camera to its fullest capacity because I didn't understand snap focus and was kind of afraid of it. I thought if I take all these photos, they're going to come out bad and I've wasted all this time and everything else. So how do I do it? Well, the last feature, the third feature that with snap focus is snap focus only. What that means is you just go in there and you set that up. You go to your menu options there and go in and go down and find snap. So what that means is you've taken away the camera's ability to do any sort of autofocus. It will not autofocus. It cannot autofocus. You have to set the focus now, and it's not using a dial like a manual focus or something like that. You go in there and you set it. There's 3 settings you look for on there. The first one is your distance. 1 meter, 1.5, 3, 5, infinity. I use exclusively 1 or 1.5. Why? Because I use it for street photography, and what happens is when you're walking down the street, typically people can walk within about 3 feet of you, and you want to be able to get that shot just bang without looking. It's very key that your aperture is also set in accordance with your distance. The way I use it, I set it at 1 or 1.5 meter. Then I use f8 or f9 on my aperture. Again, we're outside typically, even on a cloudy day, that works fine, f8 or f9, and a shutter speed of 400. Why do I do that? Because if you have people walking by and you're at 1/60th of a second, that can even be blurry. So as you're walking and they're walking, you need it's got to be a quick shutter. So I use 400. That seems to work out about best. I can get bicycles rolling by. You can see the spokes very clear. I get motorcycles. Even got the guy with the dog here in his little bike basket. So I mean, that's 1/400th of a second. We're talking about f8 and 1.5, let's say, on the snap focus distance. Okay, you've got those 3 things set up. That's very important. Those 3, the combination of those 3 will tell you or will help you get your clear shots without blurriness and depth of field. What's depth of field? Why do I need depth of field? If I'm walking down the street, and a guy is arm's length away and he walks by me and I take that shot, it should come in clear. If he's walking by and he's right up within a foot or so of me, it's going to be a little blurry because he's too close. The camera can't focus that close. Again, it's not focusing, it is the snap focus, but it's not going to be in focus that close. You need to be about 1.5 feet or so. That's fine for the street. Typically, especially during COVID, people aren't right up on you. You're not taking a picture of somebody right in your face anyway. They're going to be a few feet away. But with that 1.5, that's about 4.5 feet in the United States. And an f8 or f9, that means that with your depth of field, you should have clearance from about 1.5 feet or so from your camera all the way out to 10, 15 feet. Any further than that is irrelevant because this is a 28 millimeter equivalent lens. 18 millimeter is what is on here. Again, it's an APS-C sensor. That means it's equivalent to 28 millimeters. If that means anything to you, what it means to me is it's a wide angle, okay? So anything further than 10 feet or so, I'm gonna have to crop that all in, which I do, but it's just not gonna be as appealing. So once again, 1/400th of a second, f8 or f9 at a 1 or 1.5 meter distance. That's going to be your best street photography settings with snap focus with the Ricoh GR3. So hopefully that has helped you understand not necessarily even what snap focus is, but how you can use it when you first get your camera, because it is scary. It's unusual. Once you do it, you're hooked. you'll never go back to autofocus with the Ricoh GR3 unless you're out landscaping and things like that. And that's where I will say that if you see any of my videos where I'm out doing landscape photography, anything other than street, I'm usually not using snap focus. I'm using regular autofocus like any other camera because I have time to set up the shot and I want certain things in focus and all that good stuff. But when I'm on the street doing street photography, it's bam, 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 snap, 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 and I'll shoot 250 shots within an hour, something like that, go home, and it's like Christmas unloading all those and just seeing what you got. So I suggest you go out, you take a ton of photos, and you use those settings with the Ricoh GR3 and see what you come up with. So again, if you just purchased this camera, that should help you. If you're looking to purchase this camera, do not be afraid, and I will tell you, snap focus makes this better than a lot of other cameras out there, especially a few cameras that are $300 or $400 more than this that everybody tends to compare this camera to. Fuji, Sony, whatever, I'm telling you, snap focus is the way to go. You'll be very happy that you got this. And if you really are leery about it, go down to a Ricoh GR II. Those are still good cameras. They're 6-7 years old. You can still, I don't know if you can still get those new or not. Those are still great cameras. They've got even pop-up flash that the GR3 does not have. I've never used an in-camera flash, so irrelevant to me. At any rate, guys, I hope this has helped you understand snap focus a little better. Please leave your comments in the description below. And if you like to purchase this camera, the GA1 coupler, the 49mm UV filter, or the JJC thumb grip, those are all available in the links below. They do help this channel if you purchase from those links, so I do appreciate it. Hey guys, remember to please like, please subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you on the next Ricoh GR3 quick tip.